there, and welcome to the Grace and Bacon YouTube channel. My name is Jessica, and in today's video we have a shaker marathon happening. I am using the Ellie modern bucket bag pattern. This is a brand new pattern from K.Dill Handmade. It is amazing. I did not add all of the features that the bag normally would have. There is nothing inside. All I did was make a shaker panel using 3 sides, a center and 2 sides on the front, and then the back I only used 1 panel, and then I used a bottom along with the bottom also in the pattern. And then I added a strap just like the pattern, except I did not use grommets or anything like that. I just attached it with rivets. I will have the pattern linked down below. I love the way this looks. It came out so good. I know they're little ghosts. I know it's not Halloween, but I mean, who doesn't like Halloween stuff, right? I did bind the top. You could just take some double-sided tape and fold the edges and sew it down if you'd like, but I do like the way that it looks with the binded edge and also the checkered print down at the bottom. I think it came out really cute. This is probably the shortest video I've ever filmed. All right, guys, let's go ahead and make the clear vinyl, jelly vinyl shaker panel for the Ellie modern bucket bag. All right, let's get into it. All right, let's go ahead and go over our pattern pieces. I'm gonna have 2 pieces for the side in this TPU. We will be using a ghost for the center, and then the sparkly clear vinyl for the top. I'm not sure if you can see the sparkle or not, but it is glittery. And then I'll be using this heart confetti that I had purchased from Happy Kawaii Supplies, I believe it is. I'll leave the link down below for it. And then I will have a bottom piece. I've already got my corners cut out already. So this is going to be my front panel. The back panel is going to have a bottom, and then I'll be using the ghost for the top. For the bottom base, I'll be using the jelly vinyl. The checker print is so fun. I will be binding the top with this. This is from Fabric Therapy. I'll be using 1 strap. It is 1-inch webbing, and then I will take this 1-inch by 2-inch jelly, and I'm going to sew it on my ends of the strap. I will be using rivets, matte black rivets, to attach these to the bag. I will be doing it on the side just like you would on the original pattern for the Ellie modern bucket bag. You definitely want to have a lighter for anything that you're doing with a clear bag. You definitely want to singe all of your thread ends. And I think that's it. I will not be putting a label on this today, but I think this is all that we need to make our Ellie modern bucket bag using clear vinyl and jelly vinyl and making a shaker panel, which is super fun. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our bottom pieces. You've got 2 pieces, and then we have our other bottom piece. I'm going to set this to the side right now. What we're going to do is place these right sides together. So the short ends are going to meet. Go ahead and clip the bottom together. And we will go ahead and sew the bottom edge at the seam allowance given in the pattern. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to open up your seams the best you can. You could get some double-sided tape and use that if you like to, but I'm just going to go to the bed of my machine and I'm going to hold this down while I sew on each side of that seam. at an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. All right, so now that is now sewn on both sides. I know it's probably really hard to see, but my thread's white. First, what you need to do is mark the center. Okay, so now since we've marked the center of the shortest sides, we're going to go ahead and place this so that it's wrong side down and your bottom is right side up. And you're going to place this right on top of your seam. So your centers should match that seam. Go ahead and clip that together. You could use double-sided tape here if you would like. So do that on the other side as well. I'm just using clips. This jelly is pretty nice. So go ahead and sew on each long side at an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. All right, so now the base is complete for right now. So we're going to go ahead and set the base to the side for a moment. I'm going to go ahead and do my back piece. So I'm grabbing my back top, and then I'm going to grab, well, I guess I need this back. Just kidding. So I'm going to go ahead and take these pieces and lay them so they're right sides together. And then I will clip these edges. And I'm going to sew this at the seam allowance that's given in the pattern. So these pieces should be right sides together. Just make sure that you are singeing your threads as you go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it so that the seam goes down. Okay, so the seam is going to be behind my base back here. And I'm going to go ahead and sew this at an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. So top stitch that down. All right, that looks pretty good. Anytime that I'm sewing with jelly vinyl, clear vinyl, I always make sure to have my thread length be about 4 to 4.5, sometimes 5. I always start with the tension as tight as it will go. That will save a lot of frustration if you do start with your tension being as tight as you can get it when you're sewing with these materials. That's just from my experience. So just letting you know that piece of info. That looks really cute. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and set this to the side for a moment, so we're going to go ahead and start working on our glitter shaker panels real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and grab those panels along with the confetti. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do with my center piece is I'm going to place double-sided tape on the left and right edges and then the bottom edge. I'm using 1/8 inch wide. I have my center panel right side up, and I'm just lining the tape right along the edge. I'm not going to do the top because I will sew that closed. All right, I'm going to remove the paper just from one side at a time. I'm going to line up the edges. This is going to be right side up. I don't think there is a wrong or a right side. Maybe there is, but they kind of look the same. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up down at the bottom. And then line up my edges down on this left side here. It's kind of hard to see because it's clear. That looks pretty good. So now I'm going to go ahead and remove the tape, not the tape, but the paper down from the bottom. This is from Weft and Warp Co. It's probably my favorite double-sided tape to use. All right, I'll go ahead and do the same thing on the right side. All right. I am not going to put this confetti in just yet. I'm going to go ahead and start sewing my sides together. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of my sides and place it right side down. I'm going to start with my right side first. So I'll place these right sides together, match up those edges, and I'm going to clip along those edges. The good thing about clear vinyl is that it just kind of sticks to each other, so you don't really need that many clips. I'm going to go ahead and sew this down at the seam allowance given in the pattern. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open this up. The seam is going to be behind my right side, not towards the center. There's already too much there. You don't want to add more bulk on that center. So I'm going to go ahead and sew this down and give it a good, what's it called? We're going to top stitch at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. All right, that looks pretty good. I will be closing this up whenever I attach the bottom. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab my left side and lay this right sides together to match up the left side edges and clip those together. If your machine does not like the double-sided tape, you could just use clips if that's easier for you. Also, if you get gunk all over your needle, you can just grab an alcohol wipe and some sewer's aid and clean your needle right up. All right, I'm going to go ahead and sew this down at the seam allowance given in the pattern. Again, these should be right sides together. So I've got my bottom and then the back all done. So now we're going to go ahead and take our completed front panel and lay this so it's right sides together. And you want to make sure that you have the right piece down. You want this open part to be on the opposite side that we're sewing. So don't close that up here. Go ahead and clip the bottom together. And then we're going to sew that down at the seam allowance given in the pattern. All right, so that's sewn on now. So what we want to do is have that seam go behind this back panel, just like we did on the other side. And we're going to go ahead and top stitch that at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. All right. So this panel is complete, and so is this one. So now we are going to put in some of our confetti right through the top opening. All right, there it is. I may have put too much in there. Can you have too much? I don't know. Maybe you can't have too much. I love it. So cute. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to top stitch, or not top stitch, but I'm going to go ahead and baste this closed so that no confetti comes out. All right, so what we're going to do now is place these so they're right sides together. And we are going to go ahead and sew our sides. I'm going to start clipping this where the seams are down here at the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and start clipping right there. I might need to use the other clips. So yeah, we'll match up those seams. And then we'll start clipping down our sides, and then we'll sew that using the seam allowance given in the pattern for both sides. Okay, so now that the sides are sewn together, we are going to reach in and box these corners. I am going to open up the seam as best as I can. And they match up really nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and match up those seams. Get that as straight as possible and clip that together. With the vinyl, I will be sewing at the seam allowance given in the pattern, and then I will be sewing another row of stitches on the inside of my seam allowance here, just to give it some security and relieve some of that pressure on the stitches. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side and box our corners. Open up your seam here, match up that center seam, and it just falls into place so nicely here. Very nice. All right, perfect. All right, let's go ahead and sew down both sides and make sure that your seams are open. It's looking really cute. Oh my goodness, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this so it's right side out. If you have something that is TPU or not TPU, I forget what the other one is called, that's a little bit stiffer, go ahead and grab a hair dryer. I may need to do that with this. They're so cute. I love the base down here. It gives it so much structure. Now you could take these edges and put some double-sided tape on the top edge and fold it over if you wanted and just sew that down. But that would be fun to bind this with this fun stuff right here. I forget what this is called, but it's sticky. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that instead. I'm gonna go ahead and open my seams here. I wanna make sure those are open. This is where I'm gonna start. I'm just going to start about right there. And fold this over, and you want to try to make sure that your edges at the end match on the bottom. Okay, so I've got the binding attached. I had to go ahead and use clips because this just wasn't really sticking very well. I'm going to go ahead and start sewing this down right here at the seam, and I will do it 1/8 of an inch away, maybe even a little bit more, just to make sure I catch both sides. It should be fine at 1/8 of an inch, but just in case, I'll probably go in between maybe 3/16 of an inch or so. Yeah, that's what I'll do. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that binded. That's so cute. All right, so this has been binded. Oh my goodness. Oh boy, I'm gonna set that to the side. And then I'm gonna go ahead and grab my strap and then my 2 pieces here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and fold these in half and sew these on, just basically using a box. I'm gonna sew, that is it. Yeah, that's it. And then all we need to do now is just attach the strap to the bag, and then we will be done. And I'll be using rivets to attach this to the bag. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew this on here. All right, so these have been added to my strap. It looks really good. I only have one strap because I'm just doing it just like the bucket bag usually just has one strap that attaches to the side, and that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to attach this on the side with some rivets, one on each side. I'm just going to attach it right below where I placed my binding so that the edge of my flap, I guess, what is this called? Strap cover, I guess, so that those edges meet. And I'm going to go ahead and put a rivet in here, and then I'll be all done. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get that taken care of. All right, so the strap is now attached. I did not put it through the seam. I just put it right beside it on both sides. Oops. I don't know if you can see that with the black hardware, but it turned out really cute. I love it so much. All right, guys, so we are all finished with this. I think it looks great. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you will continue watching the marathon today. We've got some really fun ones, and I'm so excited to continue watching what everyone has made today, especially for shaker panels. They're so fun, right? Look at that, how cute. Oh my goodness, you guys. All right. I hope you guys have a great day and you enjoy the marathon, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.